Have I ever told you about the time that I had to fire a client? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's Rosemary Lewis, your educator agent with eXp Realty, and today I'm going to share with you about a time where I had to fire a client. I know, wah, wah, wah. But before we get into it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel so that you can hear all these real estate stories. And follow me on Instagram. My Instagram name is Rosemary the Realtor, and you can find me on Facebook at Rosemary Lewis. Okay, y'all, I'm just gonna keep it 100. That means keeping it real with you about the not so glamorous, not so fun side of real estate. So I have a client, or I had a client, I still have so much respect for him. We just have to part ways, but I had a client that I was working with to sell a few of his properties. Met him when I was doing cold calling, so we had no experience with each other before, and he had some properties that had expired off of the market, and I was calling to try and earn his business to list the properties. So for those of you that don't know what that means, is that when you list a property with a real estate agent, it is listed for a specific period of time. If nothing has happened, if the house has not gone under contract or has not sold by the time your listing agreement has ended, then it shows up as an expired listing. And oftentimes, if you have an expired listing, there are going to be other agents, because they know that you want to sell your property. They want to find out how they can help you get it sold. Was it a pricing thing? Was it a marketing thing? What can we do to help get you across the finish line? Which is what I did for this gentleman. Met him, and he was a newer investor and very interested in getting the home sold. So he agreed to meet with me, and a very aggressive personality, but I have to be honest, I mean, I think that we hit it off right away in the respect of, not that he liked me as a person, but he understood that I understood the market and could actually help him get the property sold. And one of the reasons that was something that helped us hit it off ultimately became our downfall in our business relationship. And that is because I was honest with him about the quality of work that was in the home and what I thought these homes would sell for. Part of the reason when I took, and it just wasn't my opinion, when I looked at what comparable homes were selling on the market, I felt like the homes, and I was able to provide him documentation that the homes that he had listed were higher. The market was no longer bearing those numbers, and in order to get the home sold, we had to respond to what the market was saying to us. To which he agreed, and guess what? We actually did get a couple of his homes sold, but then he had other homes to sell. And this is when it gets interesting. Run my numbers, let him know what his total investment would be to get the home sold, and gave a suggested selling price, to which he disagreed, okay? Which is fine. I'm okay with you disagreeing with me, but we need to have a conversation so that we can come to an agreement of what's gonna be best for the client. And long story short, I was able to provide documentation to support the price that the market was bearing for the properties, and he wanted to list at a much higher price. And I don't care how amazing your marketing is. I don't care if you knock on every single door. Overpriced homes will sit on the market longer. It'll be much more difficult to get ready, willing, and able buyers in the door. And at the end of the day, I knew that he needed to get out of these properties, and that was something that I just was not willing to do. So respectfully, I let him know that if it was his choice to list the properties for the number that he had in mind, that I probably was not going to be the best agent for him, because we studied the market, and he was okay with that. And you know, I wished him the best of luck with whatever agent he decided to work with, but I was not comfortable putting him in a position where I knew the homes would sit longer than he actually could afford them to do. So in that case, we had to part ways. And I want to say, for my new agent friends, my first year in the business, I probably wouldn't have had the courage to do that. I would have been so eager to just take the listing that I really wouldn't have put his best interest in mind to let him know that it wasn't that wasn't the best thing for him to price the homes that way. And sadly, those homes, I believe, are still on the market, and now he is starting to decrease the price closer to what I thought, and I'm hoping that he gets a sale, but I'm sad that it's going to take him so long to do so. So that's just one of my stories about when things just didn't work out. Again, if he was to ever call me again and wanted to work with me, I definitely would work with him, but the numbers would have to make sense. And just know that if you have a real estate agent that you trust, even if you don't agree, it's okay not to agree. Ask them to back up what they're telling you with documentation. And ultimately, if they are the expert, work with someone who you can trust, who you're gonna know is always gonna work with your best interest in mind, okay? If y'all have ever any questions about real estate, I wanna be your homegirl. Don't know if you can see it on my shirt. If you're in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I would love to work with you. And if you're anywhere else in the world, eXp Realty, we are a nationwide brokerage, so I can connect you with an amazing agent anywhere in the US and in Canada. How about that? So y'all have a great day, and talk to you soon.